I'm the fitness coordinator and we're in the office here at Rothwell. Simon, we just spoke to Kirsty. She's obviously had this amazing journey and 6 times a week she's here. She's at that end of the scale where fitness is, she's doing it loads at the moment. There'll be people listening who just want to get a bit more active. What are the best top tips to start that off, to get going?
I think for me a lot of it is having a plan and being realistic with how much time you have got available. A lot of people, obviously, you've got a busy life, working, and it's building it into that and accepting that, and not hitting yourself over the head that I've got to be coming in from work, then going out to the gym or going out to a fitness class all the time. Yeah, they're important aspects of fitness, but if you're going to do that, why not do it prior to work, possibly? So it's built in almost as part of your day, as part of your work day. You could also build it into possibly your lunchtime or even on the way home from work, rather than going home and then going out again, calling in on your way back. Obviously, having lots of different facilities ourselves, that's really good because we're all over the city as far as linking up with people's workplace away from their home as well. Something like that to almost make you commit would be putting your kit in your car straight away. So you haven't got the excuse to think, I've got to go home and get my kit, and then you find 3 other things to do. We all do it. Nobody's perfect, and obviously the one extreme is coming 6 times a week, which is brilliant and that's awesome, but a lot of people, it takes a lot for them to commit to that sort of thing. And you've got to be a bit more realistic, so you're not being too hard on yourself and you're not being that overly committed to it, if you like, because sometimes that can be intimidating in itself. Daily activity is so important. One of the biggest fitness trends at the moment is wearable tech, and that is really around tracking daily activity. It's almost down to counting your steps, as basic as that, looking for opportunities to do that, whether it's taking stairs, parking further away from where, when you're going shopping, further away from where you usually would, so you're walking, doing things with your children, take your dog out for a longer walk, or actually, rather than taking your dog out and letting him off and letting him run around, actually walk around with him and doing things such as that. We've all done it, and we're pretending that we're going out and walking the dog, but we're not, or that we're gardening and we're not, things such as that. So it's building it into your day-to-day life and just looking for those opportunities to be active. They're all around us all the time.
As well as doing all the exercise here in the classes, Kirsty's obviously lost a lot of weight. She had a
Indeed.
goal with that as well. When it comes to weight, there are so many myths around weight loss and the ways to do it.
Yeah.
You're the man in the know. So, what are those myths and how do you debunk them?
Well, the first myth is weight loss. We're not talking about weight loss, however, we're talking about fat loss. Weight's made up of, obviously, water, bone, muscle. I don't think we want to lose any of those. We're wanting to lose body fat, so that's the first thing. So that can be a bit of a minefield when you're tracking just weight alone. You don't know what you're losing. So that's where it's good to have a specific goal around certain things, and your training does help with that, so you can maintain your muscle mass and your bone density and things like that. The things that are important to your health and how you look, obviously we don't want to lose those, and the things that will be shape changing, which will show shape to your body. So that'll be the first thing, is just be careful about your term of just losing weight. It's fat loss that we're looking to do. So try and be more specific with that and try not to get sucked into just tracking a number. Second one that always comes up is, I'm going to call it spot reducing, but it's basically somebody who does thousands of crunches and expects to get a 6-pack. 6-packs come from lower body fat, things like that, or working an area of your body where you think it's going to look loads better and loads leaner just because you're working that particular area. Body fat comes off your body as a whole. So obviously your activity should, like whatever activity you're doing, those parts are going to look leaner just from your general activity when you're obviously using body fat. That's a big one that a lot of people fall into. As far as the nuts and bolts of training and actually doing exercise, people think that the only way to get rid of body fat, and as far as a weight management routine, is doing cardiovascular exercise. You might hear it termed as CV. Basically, it's aerobic exercise, which is great, and it's very, very important as far as a healthy heart and your healthy lifestyle and feeling a little bit more energised. But it can also be quite laborious as well, and there's some other benefits you could get from doing resistance routines or doing things such as circuit training that are still going to get the adaptions that you want from your cardiovascular system, but will also get a lot of carryover from strengthening your muscles, your joints, things such as that, and changing shape of your body. So a lot of people come in and ham at CV and it can be very boring, and that puts them off training. So that's something that certainly a pro instructor would help you with. Another one, a calorie is a calorie. If you eat excess calories to what you're burning or using, you will get fatter irrespective of what you're eating. There's a bit of a misconception that if you eat certain types of food, they'll just be dissipated from your body. If you eat too many things, and whatever they are, you can get fat from eating too much tuna, you can get fat from eating too much ice cream. A calorie is a calorie, and always bear that in mind. So any fat loss plan that you want to do should mean using more calories than you're consuming. It's as simple as that. That is the most simple way I can put it. The industry's been built up a little bit to make it a little bit more confusing because people want to sell things, diet plans, things such as that, but it never gets away from that, and that's something to always bear in mind. And I think that's one of the biggest myths going. Last one really is a lot of people tracking the weight, which is great, but sometimes tracking it a little bit too much. And by that I mean weighing themselves, such as before a workout and after a workout, and looking for losses in those sort of terms. Well, if we went down training now and I took you down, we did a workout, you'd enjoy yourself and come out, and if we weighed you before and after, yeah, you would be lighter, but you'd probably be dehydrated, and that's where it'd come from. You wouldn't have metabolised the amount of body fat in that time to see a weight loss, and that's quite an unhealthy way of tracking. What we really should be doing, if we're going to track it on a weight terms, and I appreciate that people want to do that, which is great, it should be something that's done no more frequently than once a week, at the same time of day, and dressed the same way, so it's as measurable and as comparable as possible, because sometimes it can get very, very confusing if you're weighing all the times, different times of day, pre and post workout and things like that, and it can be very, very confusing. So try and keep it simple for yourself.
It's quite astonishing, really. I mean, just from listening to you there, how many myths there are. Simply from me saying, oh, weight loss myth. Well, It's not weight loss. And how many there are around that, and how people do things, and we all assume that doing certain things will lead to weight loss or body fat loss, but actually It's not necessarily the way. I guess you guys are here to help people here at Active Leeds to get on that journey and to do it in the right way.
That's where knowledge comes in, and that's where specific programs and goal setting comes in, so we can go to those areas and identify those areas that we're actually working on.
Sam, thank you so much for that. And if no other reason, I now know that my 1,000 sit-ups I've been doing every day is not the reason why I haven't got a six-pack so far. So that's the reason. That's the reason why I
got out of jail.
All those sit-ups. Thank you so much, Simon, and
My pleasure.
all the best here at Active Leeds.
Thanks very much.